Well, hi guys, and welcome back. It's been a while, I admit that. I've been rather busy. So I'm anxious to get on with today's video. It's something I've not done very often. Normally I try to concentrate on restoration of parts, but today we're going to be looking at a regular fault on these cars. In fact, pretty much any car has this sort of problem. And I've seen it crop up a couple of times on the forums and people asking how to cure it. So this car is a car that I bought minus the engine, or a completely stripped down engine, last year. And earlier in the year I rebuilt the engine and put it back in, and it had all new belts. And 6 months later, my wife drives this now, by the way, and 6 months later it developed what she said was a fault. Really, it's more of a bedded in, needs a little bit of adjustment to solve the problem. So just before we get started, a quick reminder, I'm not a professional mechanic. Please don't message me asking me to help you with faults, because I probably don't know the answer. And probably most of what I talk about is a load of old rubbish, and I've noticed a few people correct me on a few things, which is entirely within their rights to do if they don't think I'm doing the right job, and I appreciate them pointing out things when I've made a mistake, which in turn will help you guys. So first of all, let's have a look at the fault. There's going to be a bit of noise when the engine starts up, but you'll get an idea of what the problem is if you come round here. So when she goes to operate the steering, especially from cold, there's a squeaking and the steering wheel judders. And the more you try to turn it, the more it judders. It's rock solid. So the squeaking alone should tell you what the problem is. But we're going to look at it because not everyone recognises this problem, or else you wouldn't be going to forums asking how to solve it. So I'll turn off the engine, we'll go around the front and look at where the problem lies. Now, ordinarily, for what we're about to do, I would have a spare engine out of the car for you to see clearly what bits I'm trying to access. Unfortunately, winter's coming up, and it's coming up very quickly, and all of my engines, my spare engines, have gone into storage, and I wasn't able to get one out for this video. But I'm sure using the manual and looking closely at what we're trying to do, you'll get the idea of what we're trying to achieve from this. So on your engine, there's 3 belts. You have your cam belt, which is underneath this plastic cover here. Then you have 2 auxiliary belts, and if you want to come in a bit closer, we have the slightly larger belt down here, which is for your alternator and air conditioning pump. And then we have over the back here a smaller belt, which is for your steering pump. And this is the one that's a problem. Now you can clearly see that this is a brand new belt, but because it's been on there for a few months, it started to bed in a little bit, and because it's under a lot of tension, it's just starting to slip. There's nothing actually wrong with the belt itself. It's a perfectly good belt. If your belt is looking shiny on the teeth, on the grooves, then perhaps replace it. But this is a brand new belt, it's completely fine, it just needs to be tightened up a little bit. Now to get to it to tighten it, the manual says going from the side, which involves taking off the wheel, the engine covers, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's an awful lot of work. I think we can do it from the top with a long neck 14mm spanner and a 1/2 inch extension bar. If you've got 2, it will make the job even easier. Now the only difference between the non-turbo and the turbo models, as far as this adjustment goes, is going to be the air pipe that goes to the turbo cooling intercoolers, that's it. Now that section of pipe can be easily taken out, very, very easily, and then you'll be able to get exactly the same access that we can get on this non-turbo model. So if you come down here, in fact, no, what we're going to do, we're going to stop the video. I'm going to get a torch because it's getting a little bit dark now, and I think we're going to need a torch to help you see on video what we're doing. Okay, now there's 2 bolts that we're going to need to loosen. This here is the tensioner for this belt, and that is held in place by 2 bolts. One is here and one is directly below it here, and we've got to loosen both, and all we're going to do is loosen them just enough that will allow us to adjust the tensioner. So with the 14mm long reach spanner, we should just about be able to get in here, I'm hoping. This is the first time I've attempted it from this position. So there's one, just loosened slightly, and then to the one below, if we can get in there enough. Oh, and I'm blocking out the light, aren't I? Yeah.
Okay. Would it help if you turn that spanner around?
It gives a harder angle because the neck sticks out a bit. Sometimes you can get in and sometimes you can't. If you happen to drop straight onto the bolt first off, you're laughing. But if the neck of the bolt is in just the wrong place, or the head of the bolt is in the wrong place, you can't quite get on it. Ah, we've got it. Just enough to loosen it and move it. So now we get the 1/2 inch bar, and that slots in there perfectly. And from there you push away from the front towards the screen, and you're going to push it just to take up the tension enough. That was quite an adjustment actually. Then we feel the belt, and that's quite tight now. Now because we only just about loosened the bolts, that should stay in place under its own tension. That gives us time then to get the spanner back on the bolts and do them up. Okay, watch your camera set. Do that up nice and tight so it doesn't work loose. Come on, spanner, off you get. That's one, and then we'll try and get down to the bottom one. See, that time it went on better that way round, because we don't have the rubber in the way then. Oh, of course, come on. That's the one bit I didn't allow for. Can I reach? Can I reach? Oh, touch it with my fingertips. I need someone with smaller arm. Oh, hold on, I got it, I got it, I got it. Oh, that was lucky. We'll give that one more bit. That's it. Now we'll see if we've had some success. Now, thanks to this alarm, I have to keep on locking and unlocking it to get it to start. Okay, let's see. Perfect. Problem solved. Now that's what, 5-minute job? If you had to take that to a workshop and have someone do it for you, who knows what they would have charged, because if they followed the manual, he was probably talking 2 hours work there to strip the side out, the engine covers, get to it from below. It's a lot of work, and this is a job you can easily do yourself. Even if you had to go and buy the spanner and the bar, it's still a huge saving and well worth knowing. So I hope that's been worthwhile for you. I hope you've got something out this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.